kit of the quarters to get the ball rolling here. The referee is David Webb. These two getting a head start on the rest in League One this afternoon. The ball immediately played to the feet of Bowden. There's the returning Leadbitter. Bristol Rovers are at their best when they play high-tempo, high-energy football. A bit risky there from Doyle. But they are a team that like to start on the front foot, as they are right now. And this is Bowden on that left foot of his. The first shot and anger of the game with barely 20 seconds gone.
Well, we've already spoke about this fella. Stuart McCall spoke about the danger that he brings to Bradford City. It's a little bit untidy, isn't it? That ball gets partially blocked. It finds its way to Billy Bowden. Again, in a very tight area. Manages to find the space and get the strike away. Decent start.
There's a wanted man, is Billy Bowden, the son of Paul Bowden, the former Swindon and Welsh international defender. Just looking at the way Bradford have started, they have set up 4-3-3. So Rowan Vanslow, who has been playing as a centre-back more often than not for Bradford, has gone back to his more natural beat of central midfield.
Yeah, well, we will see how this game develops. You know, certainly if it's not going Bradford City's way, at least Stuart McCall has got the option of changing that formation quite seamlessly.
I mentioned in the team news that Stuart McCall has yet to really settle on a system this season, and he was expecting that because of the amount of changes he's had to make. He says they're spending as much time in meeting rooms discussing what they want to do as they are on the training pitch, which isn't great. There's Paulion.
There's that pace, and Bristol Rovers really are. They have to be careful about how they protect the space in behind them.
Wyke. There goes Nicky Law. Charlie Wyke. Nicky Law. Bradford on the front foot. Not the finest of finishes from Alex Gilead. Bradford City's first foray forward in this game.
Well, very good build-up play, and it falls to Alex Gilead on the edge, a little bit fortuitously there. And you can clearly see much stronger on his right side. Half a chance.
Back here on loan from Newcastle. Picked up an injury in the back end of last season, so he made his mind up in the summer that he wanted to come back to Bradford City and show just what he is all about.
It's quite remarkable. It kicked off 12 months ago, the League One campaign, and these two clubs probably had very, very different aspirations at the time. Bradford, having lost the playoff, would have been shooting for the top of the table, and Bristol Rovers, having just been newly promoted, clearly would have been looking at consolidation. They did more than that, and that is why everybody is a little bit excited at Bristol Rovers about the prospect of a campaign in the top half of League One.
This is Law. Swinging by McMahon. Charlie Wyke in a battle. He's always in a battle. Reeves picking up the pieces. This now is Chickson.
That's been a good start. I think the opening 3.5 minutes has demonstrated both of these teams are going to go for it. Both want to get on the front foot.
Charlie Wyke looking for Reeves. Goes behind for a Bradford corner. Always a terrific atmosphere inside this place. Cheap season tickets, around about £149 for adults. 18,000 season ticket holders at the club. And the City out in force again today. McMahon with that set-piece delivery, and the header was just wide from Roman Vanslow, who can be prolific in the air.
Well, you can see there his own frustration with himself, because he really, having got ahead of his marker, should be scoring. I'll go as far as to say that. It's clever movement, he's got all the time, it's unopposed, he just gets too full of a contact on it, wants a finer contact, and I think he scores if he gets it.
So often we've seen him burst forward from that midfield position and arrive on the end of crosses and power headers home Scored 12 goals for Dagenham and Redbridge a few years ago. 10 of those were headers.
Powerful, imposing presence. Stuart McCall very, very pleased to have him back.
Napoleon hunting down Broadbent. Lance Bombardier Broadbent until the 4th of September. Wonderful story. Signed from the army, and Darrell Clarke convinced that had he not been serving in the forces, he would already have played league football before this season.
He's a big, strong, strapped-in lad, living the dream. He's at a very good club, and he's got a very good manager in Darrell Clarke to nurture his development.
Napoleon. Bowden trying to stand his ground. Bowden again. This now is Chris Lyons. There's Dominic Polion. Gillian. Moore ushering Chickson forward from left back. Wearing a facial mask after fracturing his cheekbone on the opening day against Blackpool.
No doubt about it, it's Bradford City who are in the ascendancy, on the front foot, pushing Bristol Rovers back, and so defending last season was Bristol Rovers' Achilles heel, wasn't it? And they haven't had a clean sheet either so far this season. They are going to challenge for a top 6 spot. It's definitely something that is going to have to change.
Chickson's done well here. Back to what you're saying about Bristol Rovers, 5th top scorers in League One last season, 5th worst defence in League One last season.
Didn't quite get the balance right, but as I said, it was a season where they wanted to consolidate themselves as a League One club. They more than did that.
Vansalo being closely watched, I think it's fair to say. Lee Brown is keeping an eye on him. Vansalo's made his move again. It's gone beyond him this time. Bradford will have another corner.
Interesting, isn't it? The right back, Tony McMahon, is so good at these deliveries that Stuart McCall perfectly happy for the right back to take them from both sides.
Charlie White has lost his man. It's gone beyond him. Here's Reeves. Circum. Reeves. Circum tries to get to it. Too much on that from Reeves for Charlie White, but Bradford City in the ascendancy here.
Bristol Rovers just need to dig a little bit deep here. They need to find a way of taking the sting out of this flow that Bradford have built up. Forward momentum.
Vansalo. Now Chickson. White is the inevitable target, and you can see just why he is the focal point of this Bradford front line. The busy Reeves. That's Bowden. Way to go for Bristol Rovers.
Once again, they've got to get a hold of the ball, and even a bit of meaningless possession would help stem the flow a little bit.
Well, now a little bit of respite. Millwall have been Bradford's worst nightmare in the last 2 years, breaking their hearts in the playoffs again, but they can also serve as an example as well about how you get back to your feet after losing the playoff final and eventually get promotion. But one big difference with Millwall is that Neil Harris managed to keep most of his squad together, where Stuart McCall has lost almost half of that starting team at Wembley back in May.
Absolutely a brand new project, isn't it? And one that he's embracing and excited about.
Napoleon. just denied at the last. It's now it's Byron Moore who gets the free kick.
Well, it's been very much on the back foot for Bristol Rovers. Look at that, they have really been pushed back. Just the one big chance for Bradford, for Vanselo, but he will need his team to get a little bit further up the pitch and look after the ball a little bit better than they've been able to do so far.
Well, he's a young manager in a hurry, is Darrell Clark. He has won 4 promotions and isn't even into his 40s. 6 full seasons, 4 promotions, 2 top 10 finishes.
Not bad, eh?
That's Johnny Byrne. It's loose straight to Vanselo. With a chance to atone for his error, but he's played it to Vanselo again. There's Wyke. Law. This is Reeves. Reeves again has a bit more freedom to move forward than he did at AFC Wimbledon. He believes the fluid system Stuart McCall will play will benefit his game. Chickson's cross dealt with by Broadbent.
Oh, what a ball that is. Every striker's dream, whipped in with lots of pace to a dangerous area, very well defended. He loves getting forward, and he's got quality in that left boot, hasn't he, Adam Chickson? Whips the ball in, lots of pace.
This is Ollie Clark. Now Lines, with the experienced heads in this Bristol Rovers team. Liam Sercombe. Now it's Lepita. Lepita with a cross, but easy playing for Colin Doyle. Lepita back in at right back for Bristol Rovers here today in place of Joe Partington, who will find himself a little bit unlucky to have been left out. He provided 3 assists in his last 2 games from right back. 10 to end right now.
Yeah, it is. It's really good play all round. Dominic Pollian, clever movement in that channel. Credit Tom Broadbent, went with him all the way, managed to stop the cross. We expected an open game, didn't we? We expected excitement. We certainly haven't been let down. The only thing missing is a goal.
Tony McMahon with eyes on this again. Kilgallen at the near post. And they've struck here for Charlie Wyke. Well, he needed a goal, and he gets his goal, and he wasn't about to miss from there. A set piece pays off for Bradford City.
Well, I don't think there's anybody in this ground or watching at home that can deny Bradford certainly deserve their lead. They've dominated Bristol Rovers, and it's quite ironic. It's a set piece. It's delivered wonderfully by McMahon. There's a flick on at the near post. And who is marking Charlie Wyke? Well, the answer is Jonathan Byrne, and he absolutely loses him. He's got no idea where his man is. And Charlie Wyke just drifts into the air. He's not going to miss from there. And once again, Bristol Rovers, it's another game where they haven't kept a clean sheet. And that is going to have to change. But well done, Charlie Wyke. Needed that goal.
In the end, Stuart.
Eventually.
Lives and breathes this football club, Stuart McCall, and he's just seen Charlie Wyke step up and score for Bradford City. His first goal in 9 games, and there are a few eyes focused on Charlie Wyke, who tore his hamstring in pre-season. So missed the start of the campaign, but just beginning to go through a dry spell, including the back end of the last campaign. But now he's got his goal.
He certainly started well. Looks sharp, Charlie Wyke. A bit of defending for Bradford City to do.
Set pieces paid dividends for Bradford. No chance for Bristol Rovers to flex their muscle. Broadbent being watched in that 6-yard area. Harrison makes his move. He's taken off his head. And comfortably held by Doyle.
That's clever movement from Bristol Rovers. One or two little blocks going on in the penalty area. Clearly worked on that on the training ground.
There's Chickson. Now the goal scorer, Charlie Wyke. Ledbitter. Percival trying to hold off Harrison, who won the header. Ollie Clark closed down quickly by Vanselo. There's Polyon. Polyon has done well to get the room for the cross. It was dealt with by Byrne. Polyon's looking lively, as is Charlie Wyke for Bradford. There's Harrison. Now Bowden. Again. Was fouled by Vanselo.
He's one of them. He feels he got a little bit of the ball, Van Vanselo, and that's why he's in midfield to make those kind of challenges. I'm not really sure. I think the referee's got that right.
He's a man who can divide opinion, Roman Vanselo. His own fans love him. Opponents, you know the rest.
That's good. You don't want to be liked by opponents. That means you're decent.
There's line standing over this for Bristol Rovers. It's Vanselo who meets it. There goes Gilead. Polyon. Wyke. Gilead's continued his run. Alex Gilead. McMahon. Just over the head of Charlie Wyke. That's Law. Will he connect truly with it?
They really are on the back foot, Bristol Rovers, and this fella's goal puts them even more. But is there a suggestion? Dominic Polyon there in front of the goalkeeper. As that is headed on, he's in an offside position, but is he interfering with the goalkeeper? Questions will be asked. But you look at the Bristol Rovers defenders' reaction, none of them are appealing for offside. And that's one of those grey areas, isn't it?
Gilead. There's Law. Now Reeves spotted the movement of Tony McMahon. His deliveries have been so key for Bradford, both from set pieces and marauding forward from that right-back role. There's another experienced head that Stuart McCall actually expected to leave in the summer. He took his time before deciding to sign a new deal here at Bradford, Tony McMahon. Plenty of cash was on offer, wages-wise, elsewhere.
Well, that was the problem Stuart McCall had. I know for a fact that most of the players that have gone away have left, and they've, well, had significant pay rises. And there's a misconception about Bradford City because they've got 18,000 season ticket holders. You've got to remember they're cheap tickets, you know, and therefore the budgets at Bradford City are probably 11th or 12th. They're certainly in the middle area of League One. And there's a misconception because of these big crowds that they're up there, so they couldn't really compete with some of the wages being offered elsewhere, and that in itself causes problems, especially when you're expected to be up there.
Yet one of those players doubled his wages and is playing in the same league.
Yeah, hard to compete with that.
Polyon looking to latch on to that. Polyon forced wide, and no real trouble in the end for Sam Slocum. Nice feet from Bowden. Bristol Rovers needing a little bit of magic from this man. Harrison left in a heap. There's Gilead.
And he needs Harrison to be strong and hold the ball up, because at the moment it's just coming back. Bradford are winning the ball and driving forward. And another Bradford City goal, although refer to last week when they were 3 up and drew. But another Bradford City goal, you would really think they wouldn't make the same mistakes as they did last week.
Yeah, that Bradford dressing room was one angry place to be at Walsall last week. 3 up after 49 minutes. His team collapsed, and he accused them of being mentally weak.
Well, he's looking for a reaction, and so far in the opening 20 minutes of this game, he certainly had one. And the other thing, of course, is that long unbeaten home record here went last time they were here against Blackburn Rovers. I have to say, Blackburn on the day could possibly beat anybody in this league if they're at it.
Ledbetter. Chickson. Totally on the front foot, but Byrne did well. Read the danger and got to it. There goes Brown. Byron Moore. Like Bowden on this side of the field will come in field for the first chance.
Slack play, really, a pass, just giving the ball away. They're giving the ball away so cheaply, Bristol Rovers.
Gilead. There's Charlie Wyke. Door slam shut, but Bradford again on the front foot.
Really pleased, Stuart McCall. There's a real good energy about this Bradford City team. That was one of the things. He lost a lot of experience, but he feels that they're probably a lot more mobile. There's a lot more pace in this Bradford City team than there was last season.
Corner did the trick earlier on in the half. Tony McMahon again in charge of set pieces. A reminder that Bristol Rovers are without the heart of their back four here this afternoon, with Tom Lockyer and Ryan Sweeney both called up to international duty. Opportunity knocking for Byrne and Broadbent. McMahon. There's Wyke. McMahon, he will settle for that. Man-to-man marking again here from Bristol Rovers. Law with the header, got free at that near post. Couldn't quite keep it down.
Well, again, the delivery spot on, but where on earth is the marking? And it's Bowden that is tracking Nicky Law, but just allows him the space in front of him. It's a decent effort. But once again, the alarm bells are ringing for Bristol Rovers.
I think there's only 2 years where Nicky Law hasn't played under or with Stuart McCall.
Think he likes him?
You'd hope so. By the way, Stuart McCall wasn't too happy when I told him that you were the co-commentator today. He said, "No, not that, Jinx."
He owes me a beer for that, I reckon.
Well, Bristol Rovers will be hoping your jinx continues, but they've got work to do here. There's Gilead. Law. Gilead again. It's nice football from Bradford City, and Broadbent perfectly placed.
Well, it really is one-way traffic, and if you are Bradford City, you really do have to take advantage of this dominance. It is total and utter dominance from the home team.
Another set piece for Tony McMahon to get his teeth into here. Dealt with by Harrison. This is Reeves. McMahon's just trying to keep it alive on that far side. It will be another Bradford corner.
Yeah, it's raining corners, isn't it? And when you've got that quality of delivery, you really are, well, in danger. Haven't looked comfortable really with any of these set pieces, dealing with them. Bristol Rovers, a massive part of modern day football as well.
Or again at that near post. Gilead. Four there for Barry Moore. He's back on his feet now. He thought he was nudged, but the referee wasn't interested. Law has managed to catch him with that, and that could have gone anywhere. Bristol Rovers just about survive. And Ledbetter trying to show his pace. Chickson saw the danger.
Well, even that, it's all smiles round here. The Bradford fans loving the attacking intent and loving that challenge by Adam Chickson. Determined and full-blooded.
Bristol Rovers have to try and dig their heels in here. They're up against it. Chickson's cross, moved on by Vansalo. Sam Slocum gets to it.
He needs to keep hold of the ball for as long as he can, but enjoy this. Nicky Law, lovely skill there. Gets the ball across, and, well, hard to see how that stayed out. He does really well, Nicky Law, and very, very last-ditch defending. I think that's the centre forward, wasn't it? Ellis Harrison clearing that ball from under his goalpost. That's how much under pressure Bristol Rovers are.
Well, it was a terrific season for Bristol Rovers to finish 10th last time around, but their away form wasn't the best, just 5 wins away from home. At home, they were excellent. They're having to deal with a few problems on the road again here. There's Polion. Polion, ambitious, and Slocum has his palm stung.
Oh, why not be ambitious when you get a strike away like that? It's a wonderful hit. You're going to see from this angle here just how much action is on that ball. It dips and it swerves, and that's why Sam Slocum gathered it at the first attempt.
Ledbetter. Johnny Byrne looking for Harrison. He's won the header, but no one closing in.
And that was a ploy of Bristol Rovers. That fella there, he is outstanding in the air. He will win a lot of those diagonal balls, there's no question. But you've got to know that if you're Bristol Rovers, and you've got to have the movement off him. Try and get the knockdown.
It is something we see more of from Bristol Rovers, away from home, a little bit more direct, like to hit those long balls.
Oh, it's a good tactic. Well, it's a misplaced pass, but this has been total and utter dominance from the home team. That's only the last 10 minutes, but when you think about it, over the half an hour, Billy Bowden had a shot in the first 25 seconds. And that's been the sum token of Bristol Rovers' attacking threat, really. One-way traffic.
Bowden. Trying to get himself involved in this game. He's managed to win the free kick.
And Bristol Rovers really do need to try and get him on the ball. Not seen too much of it, but when he has been on the ball, you can see the quality oozes out of the boy.
Chris Lyons. Leadbitter. Stuck in his tracks by Polion, who's had a lively first half. There's Wyke. Reeves. Bowden, kind of area where he wants to be. There goes Chickson. Clock. That's Harrison. Now Sercombe. Sercombe driving at the heart of Bradford City. Runs into Knight Percival. He gets the better of Bowden. Bowden just managed to dig his heels in. This now is Leadbitter. With a better few minutes for Bristol Rovers. Chris Lyons. Bowden. Nice approach play from the visitors. Clark unable to provide the finish for Bristol Rovers, and this is Law. Polion is down here for Bradford City. Struggling to get back to his feet. That's Gilead.
I'm not sure his teammates have spotted it. They have now. Look, he's in a bit of pain, Dominic Polion.
Well, they won't want to lose him. He's had a fantastic opening half hour, the Bradford City striker.
He's displayed all the attributes that Stuart McCall has brought him to the club for, but he looks in real pain there, doesn't he? Well, I think we have our answer as to why. He's in a lot of pain. It's just there. An unfriendly bounce.
Very astute of you, Dom. The EFL action continues tomorrow. It's Fratton Park. Portsmouth against Rotherham, 2:15. Sky Sports Football. Well, Bradford in front here, thanks to a strike from Charlie Wyke and Darrell Clark, who, as I mentioned, is a hugely ambitious coach, a coach in a hurry. Having to fix a few problems here, but Bristol Rovers have had a decent last few minutes. Without really troubling that man.
You know, you analyse League One this season, don't you? And there's no Bolton Wanderers, there's no Sheffield United, two giants of League One that went up. There's no Millwall, another have been up and down between Championship and League One. So I believe it really is wide open, and it's there for literally anybody in that league to have a go. This season could be their year.
Polion giving chase to that. Bent, too eager, too keen, concedes the free kick.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's just, he's got to learn about that in the Football League. Any kind of contact on a striker like that, and they will go to ground and you will concede a free kick. So it's all new to him, but hopefully we'll learn.
Playing with Hayes and Yedding last season, Tom Broadbent, whilst also fulfilling his army commitments. What it's done is present the ball to Tony McMahon and a chance to deliver another set piece. McMahon, a flat delivery, a really good inviting ball in. It was Liam Sercombe who met it.
Oh, what a delivery. And he is putting ball after ball after ball into really inviting areas with quality.
Finding Knight Percival. Two left-footers at the heart of this Bradford defence. It's something you don't often see. There's Sercombe. Referee's had a look. There's Bowden looking for Harrison, too much on it. And the referee is about to have a word here.
No, but who's he going to have a word with?
Chickson or Sercombe? Or neither.
Just a quiet one, maybe. I mean, it's the way that Liam Sercombe throws himself there. There's no contact. Can get in trouble for that this season, can't you?
Yeah, he's just had a word with Liam Sercombe. David Webb, as he made his way past him. Does look like an astute piece of business done, though, by Bristol Rovers to get Liam Sercombe in from Oxford, a goal-scoring midfielder. And he's yet to really have an influence on this game. It's been a tough half for Bristol Rovers.
Yeah, none of the Bristol Rovers players have had an opportunity to have an influence on this game. It's been such dominance.
Sercombe. Vansalo intervening. There's Ollie Clark. Liam Sercombe. Lines. Ledbetter. Bowden to try and attack it. Beaten in the air by Knight Percival. Brown. Harrison has kept the ball alive. And it's off the line. Right at the last. Knight Percival getting there to deny Bristol Rovers a leveller.
Well, the first real danger for Bradford City, and well done, Knight Percival. That is outstanding defensive work to recognise the danger.
It's better from Bristol Rovers. A moment to encourage them. But this is Vansalo.
Well, that's what happens when you're so dominant, but you don't turn that dominance into a 2 or a 3 goal cushion. You're always susceptible to something like that.
Charlie Wyke.
Well, if Bradford City go on to win this game, they can thank that young man there, because this is outstanding defending. That's a ball in that takes Colin Doyle out. Harrison does well to get that ball back, but look at the awareness of Nathaniel Knight Percival. He knows that his goalkeeper's out. He gets back in there and gets his knee to it and clears it off the line. It is outstanding defending. It really is, although Byron Moore, he will feel perhaps shouldn't have given him the chance.
Just has stung Bradford City back into action here. This is Chickson. Jake Reeves. There is Knight Percival. Charlie Wyke having his shirt pulled.
Now the referee can see that. The referee is in a perfect position. So is that acceptable, that a defender will pull a striker's shirt in the penalty area? Because I'm not sure. The referee has got an unobstructed view. He's got his arm, he's got his shirt. I mean, that's a penalty in the letter of the law in black and white. Dangerous game defenders play.
Well, Tom Broadbent may argue that Wyke just had a little hold of his shirt too, but the more obvious hold there, we could see it from here, was Broadbent on Wyke.
It wasn't 50-50, was it? It was about 15-85.
Your math is getting better.
It's one of my strengths, one of my only strengths.
There's Wyke again. Law on the burst. Harrison held the ball up well. And this is Lines. Liam Sercombe seeing a little bit more of the ball now. There's Byron Moore. Clark. Now Lines. In by Ledbetter, out by Knight Percival. Brown trying to keep it alive here for Bristol Rovers.
Well, he had a great view, David Webb, of this. Unobstructed view, you can see, and look at that. Shirt, arm, the lot. I think referee's position there is perfect. I think referees have got a duty for football. We don't want to see defenders able to get away with that. It is an infringement, and therefore for me it should have been a penalty. And it would have been a harsh lesson for him to learn.
Well, Bristol Rovers have had one effort off the line, but if this goes in at half-time at 1-0, Darrell Clarke will be delighted it's only the one, because Bradford have been so dominant in the opening half hour in particular. I'm really pleased they haven't conceded a second.
If it is only 1-0, it will be a right result for Bristol Rovers. It really will.
Bristol Rovers' aim this season is to try and sneak into the top 6. There are some big names they have to try and get past, the likes of Wigan in this league again, Blackburn Rovers. Wigan still getting the parachute payment, by the way. Some clubs with a lot more cash than Bristol Rovers have to spend to see off, but these Bristol Rovers players don't fear anything. We've seen that by the way that they turned the club around in the last few years after hitting rock bottom, losing EFL status.
The one thing we do know about this Bristol Rovers team is it is full of goals, and therefore at 1-0 they still, as they've already demonstrated, represent a danger to Bradford City.
There's Broadbent. Lines. They have just been able to stem the Bradford flow forward into the Bristol City defensive third. Here's Pouliot, who's offside.
Oh, it must have been tight. It's that old-style big man, little man combination, isn't it? With a pace up to Charlie White, little flick on Dominic Pollian as it's dead there. Well, that is absolutely borderline, isn't it? Certainly doesn't get the benefit of the doubt.
Ledbitter. Ollie Clarke fancied it, just didn't quite swing back in.
Oh, it's a wonderful effort. Great strike. Lots of power. Not closed down, and there, it's the first real thing that Stuart McCall will criticise his team. They don't close the ball down, and if you don't, invite players like him to pull the trigger, and he can hurt you.
Well, he does have previous from distance.
Yeah.
Mike Percival trying to nudge Harrison off the ball. Harrison, the player that Darrell Clarke wants to use his physical attributes a little bit more. Tells him to use his strength a little bit more. Don't be bullied by centre-backs.
Yeah. He's certainly got it in him.
There's Nicky Law. Almost managed to creep through. Lines. Chickson. Charlie Wyke. There's Gilead. Jake Reeves, who was a lot better than that from that kind of range.
I blame the crowd. Oh, there you go. I'll give him an out. The crowd were urging him, weren't they? But it was a little bit on the ambitious side when he did have better alternatives.
Does have it in his locker to do better than that from that kind of distance, Jake Reeves. Byron Moore. Circum was on the charge but stopped in his tracks. Law. There's Wyke.
Brilliant hold at play. Brilliant.
Now Adam Chickson. Harrison again helping out defensively. So 1 additional minute. Just about enough legs on that to find Sam Slocum. The Rovers, though, have steadied their feet the longer the half has gone on.
Yeah, I'd certainly say the last 5 minutes has been a lot more even. I do think their manager's going to be getting into their ribs, though, at half-time.
He's not one to hold back. He's very much a heart on the sleeve kind of character, is Darrell Clark. Leeds United wanted as their manager in summer 2016, but he turned them down. Stu McCall, so far, has got